The needle drops, the dust clears, and suddenly you're somewhere else entirely. I am Sloane Rivera.
And I'm Julian Vance. This is Stereo Current, your daily frequency for the sounds that actually matter in a world of digital noise.
Julian, I feel like we've spent the morning wading through ghosts. There's a certain haunting quality to everything on the desk today. Music that doesn't just ask for your attention, it demands your empathy.
It's a heavy stack, Sloane. We're moving from the quiet apple trees of Utrecht to the neon-slicked streets of Tokyo. Let's start with something that stopped me in my tracks, Fons and the Chargers.
In Our Yard Stands an Apple Tree. It's a title that feels like a folk tale, but the reality is much more visceral. Fons Sleeker has taken the tragedy of losing an unborn child and turned it into this gorgeous, heart-wrenching crooner ballad.
The vulnerability is staggering. You hear those orchestral strings and that soft acoustic guitar, and it immediately puts me in mind of Neil Hannon's structural grace. It's cinematic, but in a way that feels intensely private.
He says loss and grief are just forms of love, and you hear that in the lyrics. You were no bigger than an apple seed, so in our yard we placed an apple tree. It's a literal and metaphorical monument. It's devastatingly beautiful, Julian.
And speaking of artists who transmute pain into something tactile, we have to talk about Banipreet. Her new track, Bit More Than I Could Chew, is an absolute alchemy of genres.
Banipreet is a fascinating case study in lived experience. She's now in New York, but her voice carries everything: Sikh temple hymns, Punjabi folk, Bollywood, and Western songwriting. It's what you might call chanteuse folk.
It's a cabaret magnetism, really. She's been a flight attendant, a florist, a henna artist. She even lived the van life before heartbreak pulled her back to music. You can hear that bruising self-awareness in her delivery.
It's Oscar-worthy performance art within a folk structure. She's not just singing, she's spitting out the weight of what she's lived. It feels like a pivotal moment for her.
And speaking of artists who transmute pain into something tactile, we have to talk about blasphemy. We've got a global collective called Hellkern Warriors with a track called Endless Road.
This is Berlin meets Italy meets Colombia. It's moody, it's post-punk, and it wears its Sisters of Mercy influence like a well-worn leather jacket. Julian, it's pure dark wave allure.
Wait, what? Total Sisters of Mercy vibes, but I also caught glimpses of the Chameleons UK in Tom Marauder's vocals. It's got that sky is bleeding foreboding imagery. Perfect for a late-night drive where you don't really want to arrive anywhere.
The interplay between those pulsing guitars and the prancing synths, it's got a very specific kind of late-night tension. It's about perseverance, which is a nice counternote to the escapism we see elsewhere.
Speaking of night drives, let's head to Tokyo. Rainbow BELTZ, yes, all caps, just dropped their third single, 246. It's named after the highway, yeah?
Exactly. Route 246. It's modern dream rock with a shoegaze heart. It captures that exact atmospheric intimacy of being in a moving car at midnight. Gauzy guitar layers and a pulse that feels like tires on asphalt.
I love the Hold Me Tight segment. There's a yearning there that feels very classic, but the fuzz and the warming guitar layers keep it firmly in that modern shoegaze grunge territory. It's escapist, but grounded.
It's a debut as a solidified four-piece, and you can hear that chemistry in the final minute with the intertwining vocals. It's incredibly satisfying. Julian, I know you appreciate precision. Rina Kharrasova is a Moscow Conservatory graduate, and her new EP, Revel Sonatine, is anything but hazy.
Yep, she's stripping away the impressionistic haze people usually associate with Ravel. She's going for structural urgency and rhythmic clarity. It's high-tension, meticulously controlled piano.
The first movement, Modéré, feels like rapid snowfall. It's wintry and brisk, but then it opens up into this lusher introspection. It's amazing how she finds the contemporary edge in something written over a century ago.
It's brilliant, and if we're talking about tension, we have to look at Hartlepool. The band Crescent just released Millowgather, Parts 1 and 2 on Shy Bairn Records.
This is a two-part conversation on intimacy. Part 1 is blues-tinged psychedelia with these wordless, soaring vocals. It's got a rollicking rock pole that feels very coastal, very expansive.
But part 2 is where they really lean into the hypnotic. It starts with that throbbing bass and light percussion, then explodes into this hard-rocking ardor. It's high-tension momentum that feels completely earned.
Millie Jones has such a charismatic lead. Whether it's the jangle of part 1 or the distortion of part 2, her soulfulness is the anchor. It's an incredibly strong debut.
It really is. It's been a day of heavy hitters, Sloane. From the Orchard in Utrecht to the highways of Tokyo, the indie scene is feeling particularly substantial right now.
Substantial and deeply, deeply human. You can check out more details at stereocurrent.neuralnewscast.com. That's our roundup for today. I'm Sloane Rivera.
And I'm Julian Vance. Keep your ears open and your stylus clean. We'll see you tomorrow on Stereo Current. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.